Smartsheet Calendar app is an interactive and flexible calendar tool that allows you to build shareable calendars with custom details. With Calendar app, you can easily connect your Smartsheet data to visualize events in easily digestible color-coded calendars. Calendar app's user-friendly interface lets you create, organize, update, share, and discuss events, all without needing to share the underlying source data. Calendar app automatically keeps the most up-to-date information easily accessible. Let's look at an example of how Calendar app can help you manage and share engaging, interactive calendars. Imagine that your marketing team uses this sheet for global and regional campaigns. Here we can see multiple campaigns with users assigned from different teams. Let's look at how this data can appear in Calendar app. Here we can see the same data grouped into color-coded lanes. In this case, the data is organized by week and assigned to. Our marketing team can quickly see who is working on what and how different campaigns overlap. Additionally, we can change the range of the displayed data from days to weeks to months, quarters, and years. Let's try looking at the data from a higher level by selecting the multi-month option. Here we can see all of the projects taking place during a 4-month period. Also, users can create and apply personal or shared filters to their data. Additionally, we can control access to the sheet's underlying data. Selecting Campaign 15, which is assigned to Kai, opens the Details panel. Here we can view and edit data without ever opening the underlying source. Note that the start and end date, as well as assigned to, are locked, as those columns are locked on the underlying sheet. Also, the Calendar app creator can choose to display only relevant columns in the Details panel. Let's look now at how a calendar in Calendar app is configured. To access Calendar app, select the app launcher in Smartsheet, then select Calendar. Here we see a view of all the calendars we have created or are shared to. To create a new calendar, select Add New. First, we need to select the source sheet or report. Note that source sheets and reports for Calendar app must have at least 2 date columns. We will select the marketing team calendar sheet we looked at before and select Next. On the Next menu, we will select the default calendar view. However, users can switch between calendar types at any time. Select Weekly View, then select Next. Now we will map the columns from our sheet into our calendar and configure the grouping. You can see a preview of how the data will appear on the right side of the menu. For this example, we are going to use the campaign name column as the task name. We will also map the start and end date columns from our sheet to the task start date and task end date. Lastly, we will add that status column as the symbol so calendar users can quickly see the status of the campaign. After mapping the columns you want in the calendar, we can add grouping. To group the data into lanes by who is assigned to each campaign, select Group Data By and select Assign To. Note that the preview will change to reflect our new grouping. We can change the colors for each group if we wish. Additionally, we can decide which fields we wish to display in the calendar tiles by toggling the Display checkbox. At this point, we can select Advanced to continue customizing our calendar, or we can select Add to create our calendar. Advanced settings allow you to add additional fields to your calendar and change specifics about week start date, year length, and more. For this video, we will select Add. Now we can see our newly created calendar. On each tile, you can see the name of the event and the details you specified in settings. Note that by selecting this drop-down, we can download the calendar we are looking at as an image or PDF. Since we are the owner of this calendar, we can also select settings to modify the calendar at any time. We are now ready to share the calendar. To share the calendar, we will return to Calendar app main page by selecting Smartsheet Calendar. Here, we will see the new calendar we created. Using the action buttons, we can delete the calendar, return to the settings, transfer ownership, or access the sharing menu. Let's select the sharing icon to access the sharing menu. In this menu, we can configure sharing options. By default, users with access to the source sheet or report of the calendar will automatically have access to the calendar. For users who do not have permission to the source sheet or report, we can give them access to the calendar by enabling the sharing toggle. When sharing, you can provide the emails of individual users or enter a company domain. Once sharing is enabled, a share link will also be generated. This is a direct link to the calendar that you can share with other users so they can access the calendar. Note that users will be asked to log into Smartsheet if they are not already. Lastly, we can publish the calendar. Publishing a calendar makes it possible for anyone with the link to see the calendar and its contents, even if they are outside of your organization. Users won't need to log in to see the calendar. The generated publish link can also be used to embed a calendar into a Smartsheet dashboard via the Web Content widget. So, are you ready to try out Smartsheet Calendar app? Check out the help and learning articles in this learning track to learn more about creating calendars in Smartsheet Calendar app.